Hello, second grade. It's Mr. Hunter here. I'm here with your math lesson for today. It's a short lesson, but there are a few things we're going to review, touch on. You're going to need your pencil, a piece of paper. You're also going to be doing work off of pages 215 and 216, which you see behind me. We'll be talking about a few things or working on a few things regarding inches versus centimeters. This is more review. You did some work last week. We got to make sure that you understand or understood the concept that's been introduced. So we're going to keep working on that. You also are going to be applying place value concepts, okay? And then right here, what you need your pencil for and your sheet of paper. Parents, I need you to take a timer out, your watch, set it for 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be doing these problems right here, and you're going to have 30 seconds. You're going to say 30 seconds is not a lot of time, but we've done 16 answers and problems in 1 minute. This is 10. So you don't need a minute to do 10. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Parents, time them, tell them when to start, tell them when to go. When the time is up, pencils down. It is not a test. Do not get mad if you don't finish. The idea is to see how many you get done, how quickly you recognize the problem solving that you need to work on. And then before you start, you notice the numbers are pretty big. If you need a number line to help you do it quickly, write your number line from 1 all the way to 20, because you see we have big numbers here, 18 and 16. We are working on our addition and subtraction facts for the families from 11 to 18. So that means we're going to be incorporating the numbers 11 through 18 for all the problems that we're working on. In addition, you're going to be doing a worksheet that looks something like this. Yes, I see your eyes. They're pretty big. This is more practice to see how equipped and how fast you're able to work. This is not a grade as well. This is just going to see how much time it took for you to do all of these problems. And then in addition to that, we're going to see how many you get right. So everybody's doing this. This is called practice. This is called a warm-up, and you'll do that. After you finish with that, that is your warm-up for the day. You're going to have some work to do in your book. And here's what we're going to look at, all right? Let's look at the first problem. It says measure the lines. This is circling the line that looks longer. And we've done this before, but the key is really paying attention to what it says underneath. So we have one line and one blank that says inches. Can anybody show me the ruler right now that has the inches side? Identify the inches side and let me know how you can tell. You can tell because it has a little abbreviation at the top, right? It says IN. For inch. That's an abbreviation for inches. Anytime you see that, you know you're on the right side. All you have to do is turn your ruler upside down and you're going to see the abbreviation for the other word. And that is what? Centimeters, right? And it's going to be the CM abbreviation. So always make sure you look before, just like I tell you guys to write your name on your page, make sure that you're looking at the ruler before you use it. If you use the inches side and they want centimeters, the problem will be wrong, and vice versa. If you use the centimeter side and they want inches, it's going to be wrong. Remember, the inches side, there's a little bit more space in between the numbers. Centimeters, they have a lot of little tiny lines right there. So what you're going to do is you measure the lines and look at the one and circle the one that looks longer. So you're going to measure in inches, measure in centimeters, circle the one that looks longer, okay? But make sure you're identifying what is actually correct, because one may look longer, but if it's inches or centimeters determines the actual problem. Okay, I've talked too much about that. The second part, this is where what we call applying the place value concepts. So looking at number 2, it simply says write the numbers. Simple, right? But how do we do that? So we have to look. Let's break it down. We're looking in the box, and the first one, it has a 10,000s place, it has a thousands place, it has a hundreds place, it has a tens place, and it has a ones place. So if you need help doing this, what you can do is on your sheet of paper, you can actually, and I'm looking for my marker, you can actually do your own box, okay? You do your own box all the way across, and that will help you identify even more so. So you'll get practice writing the place value concepts on your own. So you're gonna have, how many spaces there? How many place values do we have? We have tens, thousands, hundreds, or 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. So we need 5 boxes. So 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. All right, and if you need to abbreviate or put whatever you need to in the box, go ahead. So we just simply are going to count the stars that are in there. So how many numbers do we have, or how many stars do we have in the 10,000s place? Do you see? If you're holding up a 1, you are correct. So we're just going to put a 1 little star there. I'm going to write a tiny star, and that's the 10,000. So we can put TT if we want, and there's a 1 down there. So let's look at the next one. In the thousands place, how many stars do we see? There's 2 at the top, there's 2 at the bottom. If you said 4, you are correct. So we're going to put a 4 there, and then if you need to, you can draw your stars. All right. My stars look a little bit more like black marbles or little dots. Hope you can see that. All right, so the next place we're looking for is the hundreds. And then I'll just go ahead and mark mine all the way down. So the next spot, we're looking for the hundreds. But is it me, or do I not see anything in the hundreds box? Okay, so I'm not blind. There's nothing in the hundreds box. So what do we write if there's nothing there? Write a 0. Okay, we're going to write a 0. We'll write a 0 right there. And all right. Now let's look at the tens place. Wow, it looks like there's a lot more stars in there than I've seen. All right, so let's count. Let's count. There's 2 columns. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Did somebody say 6? You blurted out 6 before I even finished counting. You knew that there were 6 before I finished? Okay, well, I'm going to trust your judgment. All right, so does everybody agree? Mackenzie, Naomi, Ada, Solomon, Michael, thumbs up? Okay, everybody agrees. All right, so we got Solomon, we got everybody here. We got 6 in there. So what do? We write a 6. So there are 6 what? There are 6 tens. There are how many hundreds? There are 0 hundreds. How many thousands? There are 4 thousands. How many 10,000s? There's 1. Okay, now let's go all the way back to the last box. That is the ones place. How many stars do we see in there? We see 1, 2. Somebody yelled out 7 again. Wow, you guys are fast. Okay, so there are 7. So that's 1 more than 6. So there are 7 in the ones place. So how many ones do we have again? We have 7. So there's 7 ones. So what is this number? We have, what is this? 10,000. We have 10,000, 14,000, 1 10,000, 4,000, 0 hundreds. How do we say this number? How do we even say this number? What do we do? First off, it looks like there's a lot of numbers here. Do we need to break it up anyway? Okay. Where does my comma go? The comma always goes after, or I should say before, the hundreds place. So we're going to put a comma right there. All right. So now what is this number? 1 and the 4 together. That's a 14. So that's 14,067. Now, if there's a 0 in the hundreds place, do I have to say 0? No, I don't. So I can just say 14,067. 14,067. Does that make sense, everybody? Do you understand? You never have to say the number if there's nothing there. Okay, so 14,067. How did we do this? We simply broke it down piece by piece by piece. I didn't even draw anything in here, but I should have. I should have drawn my six little beautiful dots, and then there were 7 here. So I'm gonna write 7. So there's 7 there. But all we have to do is break it down box by box, piece by piece. So it says write the numbers. So what do you have to do? Write the numbers. It's really simple. You look at the box, you put down the number, you put it in order, and make sure you put the comma in the correct space so that the problem is not wrong. The second problem, big numbers, you're going to have to do on your own. But simply follow the same steps that we just did, and I'm sure you will get the correct answer. And also put the number in, or put the comma in the right place. Let's look down here at the bottom. It says write the sums and differences. Who can tell me what a sum is again? A sum is when you're adding. It's addition. It's a plus sign, all right? And then for the differences, it's the opposite. It's subtracting. It's taking away. It is a minus sign. It's a straight line across. Looking at the first problem, the number says 7,326 plus. So that's a big key. Now we know we're adding. So we know we're adding. Plus 956. So if we write that number on the board, and I'll get my eraser so I don't have anything blocking my way. All right. All right. Hope you guys did really good with your warm-up there. We always want to do a warm-up. I know we didn't do any last week, but we always want to do a warm-up to just get our minds in the right mindset, or in the right frame for doing math. Math requires a lot of thinking. It requires a lot of energy and a lot of focus. And if you just come out and you're outside playing or you're doing another subject and then you come right into math and you're asked to learn and add up problems, the chances that you make more mistakes are higher. And so we want you to really just come in, hey, let me get my mind used to looking at numbers, practicing doing all the steps. And then when it's time to really work and grasp a new concept, if I'm teaching you something new, you're able to be focused, ready to go, and smart. So should you come to math class, having eaten something? Yes, you want to eat something to make sure that you are full and that you have energy. You're not sleepy, you're not tired. You want to have something to drink? Probably not drinking near your paper so you don't spill anything on it, but I'm just saying you want to make sure that you have all the energy you need to bring the math so that when I'm introducing you new things about Roman numerals and probability and the math problems here, the add-ins, you want to be focused and ready. So back to the problem. It says 7,326. All right. So we've done similar problems like this before. And we're saying we're doing what, right? We're adding. So we're going to find the sum. So this problem, we're finding the sum. Now, if we take 6 plus 6, what is that going to give us? If you have your number line, you can simply go 6. So you start at 6, you go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We counted over 6 spaces, that gives us 12. So we only take the second part. So 12, if you have that number right there, I probably should have wrote the bottom number. Sorry about that. 6 plus 6. So you have 12, you're going to put a 2 here. Where do you take the 1? That's right, Solomon. You take the 1 and you put it at the top there. Now you have 1 plus 2, which is what, Ada? It's 3. All right. 3 plus 5, Mackenzie. I know you said 8. You're right. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. So we bring the 8 down here. Do we have to carry anything over? No, Michael, we don't have to carry anything because all the numbers are here. So Michael, we have 3 plus 9. What is that going to be? 3 plus 9 is going to be, we add, so that's 10, 11, and 12. Oh, so now we have to take that 12, we take that 2 and bring it down here. But now, do we have to carry that 1? Where's that 1 go, Naomi? The 1 goes over the 7. So we have 1 plus 7. What is that? 8. Is there anything down here? No. This might as well be a 0, but we don't have to write 0 if nothing is there. So we just leave that entirely blank, and that is going to be an 8 as well. So we have 8,282. That is our sum. That is our answer. Those are the steps for breaking it down. You guys are pretty great at doing this, so I don't need to tell you anything else. The next problem, though, I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to do it for you. The next problem says 8,645 minus 2,303. The key, always looking at if you're adding or taking away. And then you can break the problem down step by step. That's what you're going to do for the last 3 problems here. Some of the problems you may have to borrow. You may have to replace or regroup. But you are going to do the same steps, follow that course. If you need to put a line in each one to break it down for yourself, you are more than welcome to. The main focus is not finishing fast, it's getting the problem right and understanding the concept. Last but not least, we are talking about relating the Roman numerals. Okay, so there is a sheet that you should have. I have emailed it to your parents. It is looking like this. This is what we're going to be studying, Roman numerals. You guys have been learning 1 through 20. You've learned all the way up to 30. We're going to go even higher. And so you can have this sheet. And if you need it, I want you to use it. But first, see how many of the problems you can get right. We have a V and 2 I's. A V and 2 I's means what? Well, first we have to know what V means. So V equals 5. And 2 I's after it means 2 after 5, which is the number 7. So all you're doing is matching up the number with the Roman numeral that you see. So if you know your Roman numerals, you know what they equal, you'll follow down here. This is pretty cool work. See what you remember, see what you need to learn, and keep practicing. And now we're going to go to page 216. This is pretty interesting. It says in the directions, Jake took 3 t-shirts. He took 4 pairs of shorts and 2 hats on his jungle adventure. So he went to the jungle. Pretty cool. He took a lot of clothes. Your job is to color the pictures to show how many different outfits he can wear. Okay, so there are a lot of choices that he can wear here. He can wear his orange shirt with the blue shorts. He can wear a green hat with that. But you have to write it. You have to write how many different times. What this is called probability. Does everybody understand that? Say the word probability. Probability is how many choices you have to have something happen. For example, I have a quarter in my hand, okay? A quarter has how many sides? It has one and it has two. So it has two sides. There are two answers that are probable. The probability that it could be heads is half because there's only two choices. I only have two choices here. How many different choices did Jake have? Well, that's your decision. Well, that's your decision. That's for you to figure out. Your first can draw a picture with him, like I said, with the orange shirt, the blue shorts, and the green hat. The next picture, he can have orange shirt, great black shorts, and green hat. Next picture, he could have orange shorts or orange shirt, tan shorts. Next picture, orange shirt, and the light green shorts at the end. And that's how many choices he could have with the orange shirt. But what our job is, we have to figure out how many different outfits could he make. So I think that's going to be something that may be a little tricky, but I think you guys can do it really well. Let me know if you have questions with this one. Probability is something we're going to ease into the next few days. Like I said, I have a quarter here. There are two possible choices. The probability that it could be heads is 50%. That's half. Probability that it could be tails is 50%. There's only two choices. Flip it in the air. It was heads. If you guess heads, you were pretty correct. I'm just trying to show you guys there's an understanding of probability. We're going to see the probability of how many different outfits Jake could have. It's a really fun exercise for coloring. It's also going to make you think. Don't get stressed out. Don't try to rush through. If you have questions, ask me. Have your parents send an email. I'm more than willing to walk you through the steps again. But this is your introduction into probability and more work with Roman numerals. All right. We'll be back tomorrow with another lesson starting on page 217, 218. We're going to be working on a few things with clocks, with shapes, more differences, and then we're going to be counting by 3s, 5s, and 10s. All right. I hope you guys are ready. Have a great rest of your day and good luck with everything.